Next up is the relationship. Sarah and John's relationship blossoms as they continue to communicate openly and support each other. Life gets distracting, but they still make time for each other and enjoy shared activities. When one is in a bad mood, the other person tries to be good, and sometimes when they're both in a bad mood, they give each other space and get back when the emotions are not so high. All simply because they realize that when conflict arises, it's not one of them against the other. They're partners, and it is two of them against the conflict.
What are some of the important principles to consider when you're in a disagreement with your partner?
Okay, so I say 3 tips, right? First and foremost, you have to remember that you are not the problem and your partner is not the problem. The problem is the problem. And it's up to the two of you to work together on the same team in order to resolve that problem. That's first and foremost, okay? Secondly, what's important, you cannot win a battle without losing the war. The minute that you were pitted against your partner in a conflict, if you won, that means they lost and ultimately your relationship loses. So you never, ever want to be in that position. And then last but not least, when somebody tells you that you've hurt them, you don't get to decide that you didn't. And so if you don't respond to your partner's hurts and wounds in a relationship, you will lose them and your relationship every time.
That's real.
On the other hand, Emily and Mark's relationship faces numerous challenges. They are the description of arguments, and it's largely because Mark doesn't listen to Emily.
Mark, we need to talk about our plans for the weekend. Are we still visiting my parents?
Can it wait? I'm in the middle of something important.
Mark, but this is my parents we're talking about. Are they not important?
Of course they are. I just need to make money, you know. You need to understand that I just need to make money. We need money, don't we? I'm sure you understand, baby. We'll see them next week.
See, the problems in a relationship start when no one is ready to do the work first. Everyone expects the other person to treat them well before they will treat them well back. But it doesn't work that way, guys. You have to learn to rise up to the occasion and take charge of an argument. Look at this.
Guys, tell us what's happening.
So I love Andrew so much, I do, but I feel like we don't properly know how to get our opinions across to each other when we argue. I feel like he's stubborn, which makes me even more angry with him. Sometimes when we get into arguments, it feels like the argument is going nowhere, and one of us ends up sleeping on the couch because of it. When I'm trying to convey my point across to him, he'll usually interrupt me and just not let me get a word in and finish. And I do know that I have a bit of a bad temper. I lose my temper with him sometimes, but it's usually because he's not listening to me or he's not letting me talk, and he talks over me, so, yeah.
And if I don't get a word in, it's almost as if I can't express myself properly to her, and then she starts getting a temperament, and then she turns into a rageaholic, and sometimes she'll, like, throw stuff against the wall, and I'm trying to explain myself best as I can, but she just has a different way of not calming down the way I want to.
Well, you two recently had an argument about Andrew damaging your car.
Oh,
boy, yeah.
Let's take a look and see what happened.
The right-hand
Yes,
side came
it
off.
did.
I noticed that. I pointed it out to you.
Exactly, but you make it seem like I made that happen.
You came around and you forced it in, Andrew. Why did you do that? Because now the piece is broken. I can't even find it. I don't even know where it's at right now.
My point is that if it was already broken, I shouldn't have touched it. But
Right,
if
you
it was
shouldn't have
already,
touched
if
it.
it was
Why
already,
but why did you touch it? Why did you touch
because
it?
I was trying to fix it and I shouldn't have touched it. But it was already broken. But you can't see.
It wasn't broken, Andrew. Don't you understand? It was still going into the back. And all I want is an apology. And what do you think you want?
You want more than just an apology.
Well, yeah, I want like half and half of the back of my bumper, but
Okay.
you can't get that, right?
I'm just curious, how do you guys feel when you see yourselves in that playback?
It's like, are we really in love?
No, we are. Okay, come on, give me a break.
Okay, so there's something that happens when you guys fight, and it's interesting because first and foremost, I tell people you cannot change what you will not acknowledge, right? So I heard you say, I get a little bit of a temper and it's a little, and you kind of laughed it off, like, and he's saying, no, she's a full-on rageaholic. And in that playback there, it looked, you could see like, did you recognize yourself? Because here you look so sweet, so simple, and there you look like you say the wrong thing and I'm about to take your head off in this conversation.
Yeah, Yeah.
Which one is she closer to when you guys are arguing?
I mean, that's a pretty good example of how she acts on camera. Well, I try to explain myself to her, and then it turns into a childish match sometimes. And
Well, that's my question, though. Why are you explaining yourself to her? You're a grown man.
I'm not trying to live up to her.
Right? So it's almost like, watching that, I'm serious. To me, I'm almost like the child, like, Mommy, Daddy, please don't fight. Because she's just going in, and you're like, no, please listen to me. No, well, what I was trying to do, well, what I meant to do is.
You're right. I shouldn't have a chance. I shouldn't have to defend myself to somebody that I love. It just doesn't make any sense.
This is a really unhealthy way of solving problems in a relationship. And at the end of the day, you will lose the entire war, which is the war for your relationship, if you don't change this dynamic quickly.
Let me ask you a question. Honestly, just the two of you can answer this. Do you think the majority of the time that you find yourself arguing about something that's really not important?
All the time. It's always something really silly, something small like that.
It's madness for two people to live together to be this way. Both of y'all keep trying to be right.
Yep.
We have to listen to each other more often.
No, man.
How we listen to each other.
Oh, y'all not married?
Not yet, no.
Don't do it, Steve. Don't do it.
Here we go.
Okay.
We ain't got signed this. Break up.
So he said, no. So, okay,
Come on.
so.
Break up.
No. Let
Break up.
me
Go
say this.
home. They ain't got no, y'all got kids?
No.
Not yet.
Break up
Okay.
now.
Okay, so
Yes.
listen.
Run. Y'all like makeup sex. That's what
Oh
it is.
my God!
Why are you still trying to help them?
Because I truly believe, here's the benefit to this, right?
Yeah, Pat.
While it's going to be
I'm
a lot
through.
of work for them,
They arguing about everything.
do you all want help?
Yeah.
If you were to sit in counsel, and here's the good thing about this, that in every relationship, if you learn how to work things out, a marriage or a long-term relationship will stretch you and grow you in ways that you never thought. This really makes a lovely relationship if the two of you can do what you need
It's
to
like
do to grow
organized
each other.
chaos.
You have to figure out how to come to the middle.
Yeah.
You have to come to the middle.
Do like this video and watch out for the rest of their story here. Love is beautiful if you get it right.